How to make 10K per month as a sales rep in the high ticket sales space. Watch till the end because I'll give you a step-by-step action plan on how to actually do this, how to implement it, the steps to take. It's actually very easy. Just buy a course from a kid who closed on all organic, warm audience, B2C e-com offer, and they only made 10K a month once in their short-lived high-ticket sales career, and claim they're making all their money from high ticket sales when all they're making all their money from selling you a high ticket sales coaching program and or like a placement, guaranteed placement offer. Yep, that's how you do it. See you guys next video. But no, actually, for real, like let's get into it. The guaranteed placement thing I said, or when they say that, it's complete BS. There's no such thing as guaranteed placement. You actually have to be good. You need to be skilled. You need to have tangible characteristics that you can't really teach, and you need to build good connections so you can get on these solid offers. And I'll get into like how you can do all that, like for example building good connections and having a good network, because if you do and you're good, as soon as your offer dies, you have other offers just waiting for you. You can just hit up someone that you know running a good offer, or you know a bunch of closers. You have good connection. You can just easily get on another offer as soon as one dies down, so you'll never be offerless. That's how you guarantee placement. By the way, speaking of like the things you can't teach, if you need examples, that would be something like knowing how to follow directions, being an information sponge, quick learner, hardworking, on time, being able to go the extra mile, being a good culture fit, being a self-leader, no babysitting needed. They're a self-leader. They go out there and get in. They want to be great. Step one, if you're getting into the high ticket sales space and how to get to 10K a month, start off as a setter. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, especially nowadays, but trust me, you have to start with building the foundation, because what's a house with no foundation? It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. You cannot build a great house on a shitty foundation. And it's the same thing with this. Starting off as a setter will actually turn you into a solid closer, A+ closer, the number one closer on your team. And I'll get into that in a little bit, why starting off as a setter will actually do that for you and benefit you in the future when you are a closer. When you're a setter, you're like actually in the trenches. You're in the CRM dialing people, and this will like really build that tough skin and confidence and get rid of any fear you might have on calls, because you were getting your hands dirty in the trenches, dialing people, making all these calls, not being afraid to have people be rude to you on the phone because you're calling them on a random Wednesday or while they're at work or something, right? All setters know what I'm talking about. But that builds that tough skin that's going to help you when you're a closer. Starting off as a setter, what it will also do is really make you great at the discovery portion of a sales call, which on a closing call is probably like the most important part. Usually when there's objections that come up is because the closer messed up the discovery and something went wrong there. So as a setter, take your time and really become great at the discovery portion of a sales call. Okay, and then it will also make you really good at being able to put their guard down. When they're calling them on a random Tuesday, I don't know, or just random phone number, like, hey, is this John? They're gonna have their guard up, the highest it's ever gonna be, and usually it's on those setting calls. What does that mean for you? You have to practice and train to become really good at letting people's guard down. So that's another thing setting will help you with. I'm telling you, you're going to be a killer closer if you start off as a setter and actually become a really good setter. And then next thing it will help you with is tonality. Not only improving your tonality, because they can't see you face to face, you're on a phone. So you have to have good tonality when you're asking questions. And more importantly, you'll get good at reading their tonality, right? Because you can't see them. So the only thing you can rely on is their tonality when they're giving you answers. So that's another thing you're going to become really good at as a setter. And this is exactly why you don't skip the basics and you start off as a setter, and it'll turn you into a killer closer that's probably going to make 30K a month. So when you do all of this and you're finally on Zoom, you're on Zoom calls, you're going to have so much confidence because you actually didn't skip any steps, and you built the skills that you need that transitions into being a solid closer. Like I've had closers where they've never done setting before and went straight into closing, and I was like, hey, leads are slow, so start outbound dialing and get your own appointments booked. And brother, he didn't even know how to do a setting call. I'm like, it's easy. It's just the first part of the closing call. And first call person they picked kind of rejected them. It was like, hey, I don't want to talk right now. Why are you calling me? That completely like shut them off, and they didn't want to make another dial. So some of these setters in the trenches have tougher skin than these princess closers who just sit there and want calls on their calendar self book. Keep in mind, you're not going to be a setter for 1 year or 2 years. You don't want to be that setter. You want to be a setter ideally 3 to 6 months and transition to a closer. Now, the only way you're going to transition to a closer in that short of a time frame is you have to do everything I just said. Like, you got to be obsessed with this you got to be a killer and improve really quick so you can move up to a closer. Boom, 3-6 months later, you're a closer now. You're not getting enough booked calls. This week is kind of slow. What do? We need more calls on the calendar. You start outbound dialing, and you're going to have hella confidence, and you're going to be really good and book hella calls on your calendar because you've done this before. You've been in the trenches, but now you're setting calls for yourself. So you're building even more rapport, and your closer is going to increase. And that's personally what I've noticed too. When I was setting calls for myself, I would get more closes because I'm the same person. Like, I don't have someone completely different setting calls on my calendar that can turn off a lead, and when they can have a whole different conversation with the setter and a whole different conversation with me. So I actually want my closers to self-set because closing rate actually goes up. And now you have more calls on your calendar, and you're not one of those closers that's a princess closer who doesn't know how to self-set. And you get 15%. You get 15%. I wouldn't see why that would be an issue unless you have a terrible offer owner and a terrible operator sales manager. That's what you get on one of my offers, because I will give you 15%. I'll make sure you get that 15%. Link in the description if you want to apply to be part of my team. Before I go into how to crush it as a closer, I want you to know it's possible to make 10K as a setter, but it's not common. It is not common. So now you're a closer, and how do you get to 10K as a closer? Well, like I said, right, you start off as a setter, you're not gonna make 10K, you're gonna get to a closer, that's when you're gonna make 10K. How do you do it? Close more deals, buddy. It's that simple. Now, everything I'm about to go over to be a great closer and make at least like 10K a month plus, I'm about to go over like every step right here. So first things first, an A+ killer closer, what they do is they still train, right? They review their calls, they hop on, do mock calls with other closers. They're continue to sharpen their sword. They have actually 2 swords, and they're sharpening both swords at the same time. Imagine you're Kobe, or I don't know, some NBA player. Like, don't even have to be Kobe. And you just stop training and you stop working out. Do you think Kobe stopped putting up hundreds and hundreds of shots when he won his first championship? Do you think he stopped doing his workouts? Absolutely not, bro. Because if he did, he wouldn't be Kobe. He would be stagnant in the same place. He would get beat by the competition. He wouldn't have more rings. And that's the case for every other NBA player. If they stop working, they get beat by the competition. It's the same thing with high ticket sales. High ticket sales is competitive, and it's just like sports. If you stop doing role plays and reviewing calls, if you stop all that, you'll stay stagnant. And I've seen sales rep actually get worse. How's that even possible? How do you get worse at something? How? You got worse at speaking? Okay, so before your calls even start, you wake up, go and look at all your calls on the calendar you're about to take. Make sure you go through all of them. Make sure they got the pre-call homework, the reminders, read the notes, and mentally prepare for these calls you're about to close. Go in that with confidence, and that's how you do it. You prepare. If you want to be confident, you prepare for something. And then you crush it on your closing calls and get like 50% close rate. And from there, if you don't have any closing calls, no shows, maybe you don't have enough calls on counter, you're done taking all your closing calls, don't matter. When they're not on closing calls, they go in outbound dial to get calls on their calendar. They go out there and do follow-up, nurture leads with wins for more follow-ups, people they didn't close, which you should close them on the first call. But anyway, they go in the community and get renewals, and they go upsell people already in the program. They do what they got to do to make more money. You treat this like your own business. If you treat this like your own business, you're going to make more money. It's that simple. They are also, if they're not on calls, hopping on calls with the setters and training them, because you make more money if your setter is good and setting quality calls on your calendar. So hop on calls with the setters and train them. They just go above and beyond. Do the extra things you don't even ask them to. That's not even in the closer role. They might go and build a template or something in the CRM, like, hey, I made this. Let's add it to. I think this will help right here, improve our show rate. They will share notes about how to help with marketing, sales call reviews, XYZ, to really improve the offer. They go above and beyond. When you ask them, like, hey, can you answer these questions? What was these calls like, so we can like use XYZ for marketing? Hey, answer these questions right here. Instead of giving like one or two answers, like they give like multiple sentences. This is exactly what it takes. You treat it like your own business. This ain't pancakes and sprinkles, right? You put the work and get your hands dirty. All right, now time for the action plan on how to actually accomplish this and become a 10K plus per month closer, sales rep, whatever you want to call it. So first things first, actually do your research and find a reputable high ticket coaching program out there. Once you find them, do your research, join one of them, and then once you actually join, this is what you do to get results quick and to get the best results and actually take advantage of it and get your money back. Make your money back. Not get your money back. My bad. Don't refund. Don't be that guy unless it's an actual scam. But this is what you do once you're in the program. Obviously, go through course material, finish all of it. More importantly, show up to every single coaching calls. Ask questions. Do role plays. Review your own role plays. And then review your role plays with someone else. And then do more mock calls. And more and more and more. Just do more. It's a numbers game. And while you're in this community, this is when you start building that network. You start making connections. These people you're hopping on role plays with. Follow them on Instagram. The coaches, follow them on Instagram. Build a relationship with them. Joke around with them. Build a good connection with them. And then later on, too, which I'll get into, to continue to grow your social, your network, your connection, so you can never be offerless or whatever. Okay, so cool. Once you're in the community, you're doing that. Keep doing that. And then once you're comfortable, don't do it like day one, but once you're comfortable, start outreaching. Offers that get posted in the community, apply for all of them if they're good. And then people post offers, hiring posts all the time on Instagram stories. Make sure you're following those people. Make sure you're on Twitter, most importantly. And people will, myself, I post like, hey, I'm hiring a setter, closer. And then I'm like, hey, DM me on Instagram. I send you the application, you apply. There's so many offers out there nowadays, okay? So you just start applying. Get as many shots up as possible. Shooters keep shooting. It don't matter if you missed the last 100. Keep shooting, bro. You're going to make one of them, honestly, like 100%, bro. Now, I want you to remember this. To actually stay consistent and be really good in this space, right, and build a good name for yourself and not waste your time, you have to be obsessed with this. You have to want to become the greatest at this. Your goal should be to become the GOAT of sales, the GOAT of communication, the GOAT of persuasion, the GOAT of psychology. You want to be the best at the best. That should be the mindset that you're going to have. Now, are you going to be the best at the best? Probably not. But with that mindset, you're going to get very far and you're going to make a shit ton of money. Having that mindset and combining with the fact that sales is a skill that will forever help you in anything else you go into in the future once you're done with high ticket sales, because you're not going to do it forever unless you want to. You go into your own business, you start your own agency, whatever you do, it's going to have sales in it. So sales is the best place to start. So the reason why you're going to be such a try hard at it is because it's going to serve you in the future as well. So why not try to be the best at it. Yeah, if you're actually doing all this, you are applying to offers at the same time, you're gonna land an offer. Like there's no way you won't be able to land an offer if you actually try. So once you land an offer, boom, and you do everything I mentioned in this video to be a killer setter and a killer closer, congratulations, you're officially 10K plus per month sales rep. And another good thing about this is now you have connections with cool ass people in the online money space. Again, if you get comfortable, if you lose the hunger, you will get lapped by the competition. So don't lose the hunger. Stay hungry, bro. Perfect. Now go ahead and buy my course. I'm just kidding. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't have a course to sell you. But what I do have is a type form in the description you can fill out to potentially be part of my team and be one of these 10K per month sales reps on my team, because I only want killers and I build killer sales reps on my team. If you want the opportunity at a solid offer, I manage and operate a few of them, and that's why I make these videos, so it can reach setters, closers, aspiring setters and closers, whatever. Fill out the application, and when I am hiring, you will know. I'll post it on my Instagram stories, and I'll go through those applications. Instagram is kareem.msk. DM me course, and I'll send you my course. I'm just kidding, I don't have a course, but yeah. Follow me on IG so you can see when I do make that story post of me hiring. But yeah, if you got something out of this video, if you got any knowledge or it made you laugh, honestly, I wanted to make sure I give you guys game in this video. Go ahead and leave a comment, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get to 100 subscribers. We're like at what, like 69 right now or something like that. Funny, huh? We're actually at 69. Love y'all. See you on the next video. Bye.
Put your hand in the air if you ain't been broke in a minute.